Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk all about the stuff that makes our social world tick. We're talking about relationships, from, figuring ourselves out to being a great friend to other people. So let's jump right in. So, let's just start with a simple question to get us thinking. What makes someone a good friend? What qualities pop into your head? Maybe it's loyalty, or someone who makes you laugh, or maybe just someone who's a really good listener. Whatever it is, just kind of hold that thought, because that's really at the heart of what we're talking about today. All right, so that leads us perfectly into our first section. Because, the truth is, before we can be a good friend to anyone else, we kind of have to get to know ourselves first. It's like all those great relationships you have out in the world, they really do start right here with you. So here's a word we're going to use: attributes. And really, all that means is the stuff that makes you, you. It's like your own personal building blocks. Are you a kind person? Super creative? Maybe you never give up? Yep, those are your attributes. And this is so, so important. We've got to be able to see the good stuff in ourselves. And listen, recognizing your positive attributes, that's not being big-headed or anything. It's just about knowing your own worth. And when you feel good about who you are, it's so much easier to connect with other people, for real. And look, as we go through life, our relationships change and grow, right? They can look all sorts of different ways. For a lot of adults, one of those big relationships might be marriage, which is basically a legal commitment between two people that's meant to last a lifetime. But that's just one example. There are so many ways people build close, meaningful bonds. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about something huge: friendships. I mean, they're one of the most important relationships we have. So, what's the secret sauce? How do we build those really solid connections? Well, the truth is, there's no one magic recipe for a great friendship. It's always a mix of things, isn't it? Like being there for someone when they're having a hard time, being trustworthy, and yeah, just having a good laugh together. And what you look for in a friend might be totally different from someone else, and that's absolutely fine. But let's be real for a second. No relationship is perfect, ever. Friends argue, feelings get hurt, it happens. So what do you do when things go wrong? How do you get through those bumpy patches? Here's something that's actually pretty cool to think about. Hitting a rough patch doesn't mean a friendship is over. Not at all. In fact, if you can work through a problem together, you might just find that your friendship is even stronger on the other side. It can actually build a ton of trust. And hey, this isn't just about friendships. Families go through tough times too. The main thing to remember, no matter what, is that if you're facing a problem that feels way too big to solve by yourself, you don't have to. There are always people out there who can help. So, this brings us to a really tough but super important topic: bullying. It's something that's incredibly difficult to go through, but what we're going to focus on here is what we can do about it. It's all about understanding what it is and how every single one of us can make a difference. So, what exactly is bullying? Well, it's not just someone being mean once or a single fight. The really key word here is repeated. It's when someone keeps causing physical or emotional pain over and over again. And spotting that pattern is the first step to dealing with it. And of course, so much of our lives are online now, which means we have to talk about cyberbullying. This is basically when bullying happens through the internet, in texts, on social media, in games. And make no mistake, even though it's through a screen, it is just as real and can be just as painful. Okay, so think about a situation where bullying is happening. A lot of the time, there are other people around who see it. We call that person a bystander, someone who's just watching but not getting involved. And when you're in that position, you have a really big choice to make. And this really breaks down that choice. On one hand, you can be a bystander, just watch it happen. Or you can be an ally. An ally is someone who tries to help. And listen, being an ally doesn't mean you have to jump into a fight or be a superhero. It can be something small, like pulling the person aside later and asking if they're okay, or telling an adult what's going on. The most important thing is that you don't just stay silent. So yeah, the main takeaway here is pretty simple. If you see bullying happening, it's so important to try and help and not just be a bystander. Choosing to be an ally is one of the most powerful things you can do to have your friends' backs and just make things better for everyone. And that leads us to our last section, which is honestly maybe the most important one of all. Because whether it's a problem with a friend or a bullying or really anything that's weighing on you, I need you to hear this. You are never, ever alone. If there's one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this. If you're worried about something, whether it's happening to you or to a friend, the absolute best first step is to talk to an adult you trust. Seriously, they can listen, they can help you figure things out, and they can support you. And when we say a trusted adult, that can mean so many different people, right? It could be a teacher at school. It could be a parent, or maybe an older brother or sister, a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, maybe even a sports coach or someone who runs a club you go to. It just has to be someone you feel comfortable and safe with. And sometimes it's easier to talk to someone who's not directly in your life. That's totally normal. And that's exactly why places like Childline exist. You can contact them anytime, and it's completely free and confidential. You'll be talking to people who are trained to listen and to help. So as we finish up, I just want to leave you with this one question to think about. Who is one person, just one, that you could go to if you needed to talk? Just take a second and picture that person in your mind. Because knowing who that is, that might just be the most important building block of all. Thanks so much for joining me.